y'all? Welcome back. Episode 9, Season 3 of the Manly Musings Podcast. This is episode 2 of 2024. We promise we're going to be around a little bit more than we were the past month. But tonight, I'm going to take a little bit more of a back seat. Kevin wrote this episode. So, Kevin, you're going to take it away. I'm just going to be here.
Yes, Merritt is just going to be here. What is going on, world? Kevin out here. One half of your Manly Musings podcast, and also 1/3 of your Filabucksters, your Filipino Starbucksters. As you see on our screen, if you're watching on the YouTube, we got my guy Joss, Mr. Joss McGlocky. Also, another third of the Filipino Starbucksters that you see on the daily. You also see him at his food truck, the 12 truck, which we'll get into also. Joss, how you doing, sir?
Good. Happy
Yes.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right?
Today is Tuesday.
Yep. It's
Yes,
sadly only
welcome.
Tuesday.
Welcome to the pod. So we always start off with our team apparel. So today I am rocking this awesome Knicks half zip in honor of the Knicks game that is going on right now. I don't know what the score is at the moment.
Hold on, I'll let you know.
Yes, let me know. But I bought this when Mary and I went to Brooklyn to watch the Celtics play the Nets. You guys probably have seen the We Out Here. If you haven't, it's up. It's a good time. And yeah, that's my apparel today.
You're losing 35-31 with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and West Virginia is losing 40-24 in the second half.
40-24? And who are we playing against?
UCF.
Nice. The men?
Yeah, that's the men.
Wow. All right. Well,
the women's are at least ranked, so I can't really be saying anything.
All right, Merritt, your apparel. It looks like you have a great hat on.
I have a fantastic hat. I'm still waiting for us to do what with these guys and get them on the show a little bit more. But Joe's Pizza can't go wrong. Repping Joe's Pizza, this stuff is good, so gotta rep them.
Absolutely. Shout out to our homegirl Maria out here for our Joe's Pizza hat. Joss, your team apparel today. I see you wearing a certain hoodie and you're wearing a certain particular hat.
So we're in Alpha Fit Club. It's like one of our gyms we go to.
Nice.
You probably ready. And of course, I gotta rock the Giants, Big Blue, baby. Even though we had a sucky year, we'll see next year. We're building. As long as no one's a Cowboy fan or Philly fan, we're good.
No, I'm a Patriot fan.
Yeah, he's a Patriots fan. Josh, I'm a Steelers fan. So, yeah, you already know we both hate the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Yep.
Gotta love it. All right, so we're going to go on ahead with our weekly sports update. So, first up, of course, is the NFL playoffs. We had quite the games this weekend. You had the Lions. They went ahead and beat the Bucks at home. You had the Chiefs narrowly beat the Bills.
Wide right.
Right. Super unfortunate for the Bills, and I feel bad for that kicker who missed that. Then you had, I want to say it was Houston lost to Baltimore. Am I right?
Yeah.
And then, the other game was that. What was the other game?
Was it
Packers 49ers, and the 49ers came back and won.
Yeah. So great action this weekend. I think this weekend is going to be a really, really fun-filled one as well. So you have, what is it? You have the Niners and Lions.
Lions playing the Niners in San Francisco, and then the Chiefs make their way to Baltimore.
Yes. Guys, what are our thoughts? Who do we think is making their way to the Super Bowl this year?
I'm rooting for the Lions, man.
Yeah.
I think the Lions and Ravens. Ravens is too strong, man.
I think it depends on what Ravens team shows up. If like Mark Andrews is playing, then I will 100% give it to them, and also see how beat up the Chiefs defense was after that game against the Bills. See how healthy that team is. Sadly, you can never count Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and that team out on the offensive side. So I'm still going to say Ravens like you, Josh, on that one. And Lions. I'm hopeful for Lions, but I think this is where the bandwagon ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be awesome if the Lions went all the way. I think the storybook would be really great to go from worse, first in the division. Now they're in the Super Bowl. And think about a fan base that hasn't been anywhere close in me and Merritt's lifetimes, at least, right? When was the last time the Lions were like
They
in the playoffs? I think it's 31 years.
32 years ago was like when we were both like maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
Was Barry Sanders was still the running back, right?
Yeah, and that was the last time they went to an NFC Championship game was that same year, and like that's unreal.
Yeah.
I just love the underdog teams, because they're like a blue collar team, gritty, just like
Yeah.
and especially Dan Campbell as a coach.
Oh, I would run through a wall for Dan Campbell.
And you know what? That's what it is. I forgot who I was talking to about it. I was talking to somebody about the Lions, and it's just like in his we like watched his speech, and it's like, I know we're not supposed to be here. I know I'm not supposed
Yeah.
to talk to you guys this way, but he just like the way he speaks to his team, he speaks to this team the way they need to hear him. And I
Mhm.
really think, like you said, Mary, like you would run through a wall for that guy, and those guys are running through walls for him. So fingers crossed. I'm hoping for a Lions Ravens matchup as well. Truth be told, I just kind of want somebody different in the Super Bowl. I just want
I know.
some different faces. Mahomes has been there what for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, he's gone 4 out of the past 5,
Yeah,
3 out of the past 5 years.
the,
Yeah.
the Niners have been there within the last 10 years. So I mean, I
Good.
know the Ravens are like my rival, but
Ugh.
it'd be cool. I have no problems with Lamar Jackson. I think he's a phenomenal player. And then the Lions, I mean, man, like you can't go wrong. Just can't deny the storybook ending or just talk about the story. It'll be a 30 for 30 in like the next like 10 years
Oh,
if
it's
they pull
next
it off.
year's. It's next year, 30 for 30.
Yeah, well, next year's 30 for 30 will
Is the
be
Eagles. Yeah,
Eagles
sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot
collapse.
about
That's
that one.
next
But
year's.
if but if the Lions and Ravens uh are the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl, I don't I'll root for both teams. It doesn't matter because I like Lamar Jackson, man. He deserves a Super Bowl ring as well. And my boy Odell, man, he's another ring too.
See,
Yeah.
I just like the Ravens for Mark Andrews because he's a type 1 diabetic like me. So I root for him. But I
And I
also
just
want to see the Lions hoist the
with Jeff
Lombardi
Goff,
trophy. Like
yeah, and
we made the joke at my friend's house the other night. I go, you think if like say that they go to the Super Bowl, right? That
yeah.
whole week, Detroit will be the safest city in the United States.
Oh yeah,
They're not going to try to kill each other. They're going to be so
uh,
happy. Now, if
yeah,
they
yeah,
lose in the Super Bowl, I
yeah.
wouldn't want to be near Detroit.
And
Yeah.
Detroit needs it. That's like it feels like it just feels like just think they deserve it. Detroit because it's like I said, it's a blue collar town. They need it.
So need something to support. Need something
Yeah.
to support. And I hope they do it. We'll figure out. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens and we'll stay tuned and be along for the ride.
Yes,
So
sir.
next up that I got on my agenda, did we have some scoring bonanzas happen in the NBA the other day?
Oh
Uh
yeah.
you had Joel Embiid score 70 last night. Cat scored 62. I
But
mean,
didn't Cat get yelled at by his coach afterwards? Because
Yeah.
he fumbled in the fourth quarter. He like went off for 3 quarters and then just in the fourth quarter just was childish. How he said it was immature, childish behavior.
yeah, I mean, and the add in the fact loss, which it sucks. You put up those big numbers and you lose. Kind of sucks for you.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, I don't think we've had a scoring tear like this in a while for two people in one night. So
Mhm.
if I got this right correctly, does that mean is Embiid now the third highest ever behind Kobe and Wilt now for a single game? Or is
He
there somebody
passed
ahead of him?
Jordan because Jordan had 69. Um,
Didn't Devin Booker do it one year?
I think Booker had 68 because Tatum had 62 one
Yep.
game.
In one game NBA history. Let's see. All right. So it's Will Chamberlain. with 100 points.
Wilt had 78 again. David Thompson, 73. Wilt Chamberlain had 73 twice. Damian Lillard at 71. Donovan Mitchell, 71. David Robinson, the Admiral. Okay, hello.
I didn't know.
71. Elgin Baylor, 71. Joel Embiid, 70. Devin Booker, 70.
Booker 70.
Yeah.
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 Karl Anthony Towns is now on that list because of that game the other night. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's
and
just,
Giannis had 64.
dude, this is just funny though to go down this list and half the list is Wilt Chamberlain.
I mean,
Yeah.
Wilt still in the 60s, he pretty much ran it.
Sure.
That's
I think
true.
we were talking. Me, and you, Kevin, we were talking this morning. I don't think like about Will Chamberlain. I don't think nobody at this like generation in the NBA right now. I don't think they're gonna build Will Chamberlain's scoring title or scoring record.
No.
There's no way, man.
I think it's too hard because of the fact that, yeah, we talked about it when we were about to record the Filibusters, but we took a break today because we were tired and we were not in our normal spot. Screw that guy with the laptop, but that's another story. But
Fucking asshole.
think about it. Think about like the way the style of play is this like nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
You would like
Different.
somebody would need to at least like hit like 14, 15 like 3-pointers.
Yeah.
You got to go to the line, and then also like you just have to
The
be
defense.
And you
Yeah.
got to think, Wilt did all that before they had a 3-point line. He did that
exactly.
all with
Yeah.
2s and 1s.
Oh, exactly.
So like, and then also, go in the fact that you remember they didn't start recording block shots in the NBA until late 70s,
Mhm.
early 80s. And they said if they would go back, Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell probably averaged anywhere between 10 to 12 block shots a game. Easily.
That's so yeah.
So
'Cause
like,
they're so dominant.
that's why Kevin and I always have the conversation of times of like, who's like one of the best players ever. Everyone in different generations are phenomenal.
Huh.
But people always forget about the work that the generation years ago did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but Kevin, to your talk about the scoring, I haven't watched an NBA game in like a week, so I have no idea what happened until I like saw it on Instagram or something. So
Yeah, I mean, I got the notifications. I tuned in a little bit for like the Sixers game when he got to like 59, and I was like, dang, he's really scoring it out here. But yeah,
Who
I
did
mean,
please San Antonio, right?
yeah, I believe they played San Antonio, the Sixers, and I
They're
don't know
not. They're not. They're one of the worst teams. Like they're not that good, right? Right
no,
now.
they're horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is San Antonio. They're not the San Antonio that we have grown up with.
San Antonio is the third worst team. They've won 8 games.
Well, they're not as bad as Detroit, though.
Or Washington.
Shout out to the Wizards.
But can we? I know you have it mentioned here. We're going to talk about the trade that happened, but can we talk about what the hell the Bucks just did?
Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sorry, that is a horrible decision. You got rid of your coach who brought you to the Eastern Conference Finals and a championship game and the playoffs for 5 straight years, right? To then bring in somebody else
for one season
has been pretty good as an assistant, and now you fire him halfway through the season.
Yeah.
You're second in the East. You've lost 13 games.
You're first in scoring.
That's weird. Why fire him in the third in the East?
There has to be something else like behind this.
So from what I was reading, I heard that he lost the locker room.
Yeah, because they want to just run and gun and shoot and do all this stupid shit, and it's the same thing that's happened out in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I hear rumors of that, like that they might try and get Doc.
That's what I've read. Yeah,
And it's like, which is weird because Adrian Griffin hired Doc to be like an informal consultant, in which the Bucks were upset about when he first like was hired as the job as the head coach. And now it's crazy to think that now he is going to be the first one in line to possibly take over his job.
They said he is the first coach since David Blatt was fired by the Cavs in 2015, 2016 to be fired like in the season with a winning record.
It's like you said, it's an internal thing. There has to be some beef inside the organization.
Seriously. But it's just
weird.
yeah, like I'm
Like
sorry.
it's different. Like he said, like Kevin said, he just lost a team and they're like last place in the Eastern Conference Final, but they're like third, have a winning record. It's crazy, man. I just don't get it.
Well, their defense went from being top best to bottom half bad.
Yeah.
The defense efficiency went from 4th to 22nd. Points per direct pick, 3rd to 24th. Points per direct drive, 2nd to 20th. So there was no focus on the defensive side of the ball, which, yeah, makes sense at this point in time with, how the NBA and everything is run, but still horrible.
Yeah, I just really want to know how bad it had to have gotten that they really had to just let him go like that. It doesn't make sense to me. It must. I would have to do maybe something has to do with the stars. Maybe Giannis just really didn't like it. And it's funny. I
Mhm.
saw something on Instagram right before I logged on here that like I guess yesterday Giannis took the clipboard and was writing up a play, and then everybody kind of said like that was like the tail end of like that was the end of Adrian Griffin being the coach of that team. If Giannis was writing up a play for the team.
Well, I remember when they were playing the Celtics, they had made a comeback, still lost, but like Griffith pulled out Giannis, and Giannis, they made a comment. They're like, you can tell Giannis is upset that he's out of the game, blah blah blah. Well, Giannis had 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Stop being mad at somebody else. Be mad at yourself that you screwed up and you need to sit. And then of course Damian Lillard went off.
That kind of irks me when a freaking player is taking over like the coach's job, like writing the plays down. Like that's a job. That's the coach's job. He's the one who makes the decisions. Like I said, like Mert said, stop getting mad. You got 4 fouls. And this the thing is like, Giannis, like to me, I was never a fan of him. He's a great player, but he's like a prima donna, man. He complains too much. That's just me.
I the one thing I love Giannis because he's from his humble beginnings and what he's done. I hated his comment was it 2 weeks ago now, where he said everyone in the organization had to do better, even the like guys the equipment manager who washes all their jerseys. He's like, this shit needs to be cleaner. I'm like,
For that,
bro, come on, like
no,
that's going too far. They're doing their job. Keep your mouth
yeah,
shut.
yep.
Do yours. Go out and win a basketball game. That's all you have to do. These guys do everything else for you. So
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. So we'll see what happens. Who ends up taking over the coaching reins there, and who knows? But my next thing on here, in other news, shout out to CJ Stroud. He had a hell of a season this year for Houston. Has became one of the first former athletes to be a major donor for NIL for Ohio State. So shout out to CJ Stroud. I don't know if you heard about that. Merrick.
crazy.
Yeah. Did you hear about that, Joss?
I haven't until this morning when you told me. What do you mean doing? Like is that more like he's donating money, right? Exactly. Right?
Yeah, donating
Okay.
money to help support the athletics down at Ohio
Yeah.
State, which is
He
pretty
was
cool.
he like just remind what college did he go to? Oh, is it Oklahoma? No.
Ohio State.
Ohio State, yeah. He was in NIL as well when he was in Ohio State, was he? Oh, they didn't have the NIL back then, right?
They had it because he's been there for 1 year. So I think he might have had it for a year.
I think he had it for a year
Yeah.
or two,
Yeah.
like the tail
Did he
end.
did he transfer from Oklahoma? Was it or no?
No, Stroud Stroud went straight to Ohio State,
Okay.
but he sat like everyone there.
Yeah.
They had so many good quarterbacks for college. He sat.
They make it.
Kevin, you missed the trade that we were going to talk about.
Oh no, I was gonna get back to it.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry.
Okay.
I just thought if we take a quick mini break because we were talking about basketball for so long. But yes, big trade that came out of nowhere this afternoon. The Miami Heat had acquired, as Merritt says, Scary Terry Rozier from the Charlotte Hornets for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first round pick. My initial thoughts on this: the Heat got away with opinion. Scary Terry, I remember him when he's on Merit Celtics, and he got that big contract to go to the Hornets because of that 1 year that he was on the Seas. People forgot about him, but I'm glad that he's going to be on a contending team now. See what he can do, help out Miami, move up a little bit in the East. I don't know if it's a major move that's going to propel them to the next level, but
It's definitely an upgrade over Kyle Lowry.
yeah, who's old and just disintegrating before our eyes.
It's not like the Kyle Lowry of Toronto Raptors. He just lost his mojo.
Yeah, it's just he's gotten too many injuries too.
And I'm pretty sure since Rozier went to the Hornets, he's like one of the all-time leading scorers there.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
And it's like we never even knew about that because he's on a Charlotte team that's like that nobody cares about.
And apparently Charlotte's not done wheeling and dealing.
Hey, they got to do what they got to do to build around LaMelo. Or
I keep hearing that the buyout market's going to be Gordon Hayward might go back to the Celtics.
Who?
Hayward. Get bought out by the Hornets, and Celtics should be able to use one of their trade exemptions to get him.
Wait, did they really buy him out, or is that
They haven't yet. They're trying to trade him, but
wow,
we'll see.
That would be big.
If we got that for our bench, you'd have Pritchard, Hauser, Horford, depending upon the night. Gordon Hayward.
And then my Gordon Hayward Celtics jersey won't be obsolete anymore because he'll be back on the team.
That's true.
It's amazing. Yeah, I definitely think the Heat won that deal though.
Oh, definitely.
So we'll see what happens on that one also. But my last thing on the weekly sports update, Merritt, did you hear about the TCU women's basketball team?
Yes, and one of the volleyball players is now on the team, and then they have three
walk-ons that they got from their open
walk-ons.
tryout.
Yeah, good for them for not just folding in and saying we're done with the year, but like letting people that are good at the sport play.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, so the TCU women's basketball team had to forfeit 2 games this past week due to not having enough players eligible. So in order to hold a game in Division I basketball, you have to have at least 6 healthy, I think it's more than 6 healthy on the roster, which they only had 6 because of all the injuries they've had. So they had to forfeit 2 games in the conference, and they literally had to hold an open tryout for anybody to hopefully try and walk onto the team. They signed 3 freshmen as walk-ons, and then, as Merritt said, which is right, one of the volleyball players ended up signing on to play for the team as well. So good for them. Kind of crazy that even happened.
So
is it the same?
TCU
That applies to the men's basketball. I'm sorry, for Merritt.
No, it's not for men's.
That does apply for the men's too? Doesn't, right?
The rule doesn't?
No, the rule does. They can do the same thing, but I thought you meant like if it was affecting the men's team too. Don't worry, I'm tired. I've been up all night with a child, so
you're doing great.
It's crazy to think though. They started off 14-0 And then all of a sudden, just injury after injury. They lost their standout of Sedona Prince, sideline definitely with a broken finger. Okay. Jaden Owens with the ACL and meniscus tear, and Deja Turner with an ankle, both of whom will miss the remainder of the season. In a recent TikTok, Prince mentioned other players dealing with injuries or health issues, and another who left campus because of family concerns. So like they got decimated.
Completely decimated. Reminds me of another particular team who was also decimated by a bunch of things. I wonder who that team could be.
I
We'll
don't know.
talk about them in a moment.
Did they win?
West Virginia?
Did they beat a number 3 team in the country and then getting smoked by a shit team? Yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, that's what's happened. So yeah, Merritt, you already brought it up, so you might as well go ahead and finish it.
Let's go. We won. I don't care how we finish the rest of the year. We beat the number. What? We beat
3.
Well, I'm trying to think of what Texas was ranked when we beat them.
25.
So we beat 2 top 25 teams, one at the back end and one at the front end.
Good.
I don't give a shit.
I know.
So we
Yeah.
beat Kansas. We don't have to go to Allen Fieldhouse and play them again.
Yeah. We're currently, let's see what it's looking like right now.
We're getting
Currently
your asses
30.
spanked.
Oh yeah. Woo wee. 39-57, losing to the UCF Knights. Shout out to our people, the Shigs,
Thanks.
former members of our old gym out here. And they're UCF alum, so I'm sure I'll be getting a text from one of them about the ass kicking we're getting right now. So,
Dude, no one can score.
are you watching the game?
No, I just have it on my phone, just stat wise, and
The stats are horrific.
Cook has 7 points. Chris has 6. Battle has 5. Sumnick has 0. Johnson 0. Slazinski 7. Edwards, I don't know if he played yet. They said he might play tonight. Looks like he hasn't. Farrakhan has 5. Wilson has 2. Harris has 6. Like what the?
We also have 11 turnovers. We're getting beat in offensive rebounds 9-3.
And Battle's
10
fouled
steals.
out.
Really?
He has 5 fouls.
Wow. All right. Well, that's the epitome of the game today. So we'll take another loss. Not that would be expected, but hey, this has been not a season we fully expected either. Those that have listened to the podcast have know the struggle that we have gone through this year. And
Has your men's West Virginia men's basketball team ever been to the because I don't follow basketball as much like you guys do, but has they ever reached like the Sweet 16 or like the final, not the final
Yeah,
four, but like the tournament?
They made it to the Final Four 2010.
yeah,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then Deshaun Butler tore his ACL against
Yeah.
Duke.
yeah. So, and we've been to the Sweet 16 like a few years, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
When we had Javon Carter on the team, like we went like every year we were a Sweet 16 team.
Since you guys are West Virginia alum, what do you think should be like? What should change for the men's basketball team in order to be in that next level?
Ooh, good question.
Go ahead. You go ahead, sir.
I won't say change anything because I don't want to judge everything off of this year because this was a year that wasn't supposed to be. We weren't supposed to be this bad. We weren't supposed to deal with all the crap we dealt with Bob Huggins, with all the issues with transfers and all of that. So Eiler's doing the best he can with a depleted roster that's okay. I think the biggest thing is just going into that transfer portal and truly doing what the football team has done, somehow getting great talent year over year and finding the people that are going to fit the system. And that's what they need to do. They need to find the people that fit the system. I say give Eiler another year if of this because he knows this team. He knows West Virginia. I want to give them that benefit of the doubt. But if it's the same result next year, then you blow it all up, bring fresh faces, fresh everything that don't have any connection to West Virginia, and just literally start all over.
Yeah. So I mean, to on Merritt's point, I think the key is I think they just need to give this coaching staff another chance to give them a fresh start of like having the team. They got a hold of the team at the worst possible point in the year, end of June, middle of July, where teams are like getting ready for the season. That's like summer practice for them. So
Yeah.
I think if they can keep the team together, keep the coaching staff together, recruit well, continue to use the benefits of NIL and the transfer portal, and then Merritt mentioned getting people that fit their system. I think we need to figure out what the hell our freaking system is because we don't really have a system,
Oh,
mainly
yeah.
because of the fact that, for example, two of the guys that are playing right now, we didn't expect to have them this year. So we were focusing when we had all the guys that we had out, we were playing 6 scholarship guys. We lost to Monmouth University. Yes, that Monmouth that in the place in
Monmouth
New Jersey.
University,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, we lost to them this year because we were getting outmanned and we were playing inside out with our main player, our post player, and he went down with a wrist injury. And now we're playing with our best player that are wing players. So what are you doing? How are you running your system? We don't have a system. We're just playing basketball and hoping to God that we win. And you can't do that in high level Division 1 basketball. You need to have like some sort of format to win or some sort of method to win. When you watch West Virginia play, it's almost like you're watching like your local rec league or local gym league just trying to figure it out. And then
Oh man, that's bad.
whatever is rolling, they're gonna roll with it. And then whatever is not rolling, they're just figuring it out on the fly. I mean, that's how I've always felt that when I've watched this team this year, and it hurts my heart saying it. I don't know, Merritt, maybe you disagree with me.
Yo, Kevin, that's honestly spot on how to describe this team. It looks like my pickup basketball games when I go play on Saturdays, to be honest. It's atrocious basketball. The best basketball they played was the other night against Kansas, and it was phenomenal. They had a great game. They had a game plan set for them. Also I'm going to give it to the fans for showing up. It's a shit season, and y'all still come out and support it. So that's all that matters.
And that's one thing I will definitely, to piggyback off Merritt, I really give huge shout out to the West Virginia faithful for coming out and still supporting this team. With the team needs your support. As much as Merritt and I are kind of burying them right now, we love our Mountaineers and we'll forever support them. And whoever is an alumni, I hope you continue to support them too. This is just a rough patch they're going through, and hopefully we can get out of it and figure something out soon. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, that's what we got.
Well,
West Virginia wise.
Talking West Virginia, I renewed my football season ticket, so we're going back.
Look at you.
Running back, baby. Run it back.
Yes. All right. So that's like our main update. Now it's all about you, Joss. This
Oh, boy.
Merritt, I wrote
Okay.
down like a synopsis of what I have. So it's not just me talking. So I don't know if you want to start first.
Let's see.
Who, me?
Hold on. Going back to my messages here.
Yeah.
All right. How the hell do you two know each other? Besides looking
Oh my
like you're related.
It's funny because I just found out like maybe like 6 years ago. So my uncle is good friends with his uncle, and since we were like in the 80s, and I just found out that because his uncle is his dad's brother,
Yep.
and um I've been seeing, and his Kevin's sister Geraldine is the same. We're friends with my two of my twin cousins. So I see Kevin a lot at church, like little punk kid who's always sleeping at the pew. And me and my brother's like, this guy's not getting freaking communion. Like, always loud crying. And
Doesn't surprise
we
me.
knew him, but we didn't know him like personal because we knew who Kevin was because my cousin is friends with Geraldine. And we just met Was it how long ago, Kevin? During Zoom, it was like 20 to 15 years ago.
2010. 2010.
2010.
The way I remember it is, so there's a couple of Zumba instructors that we used to take. One is our friend Jackie Shahid, who you saw, Merit, if you remember a couple months back. Me and Josh, we took a class then, and I showed the flashback video of my last class up until that class that we did together. And then our friend Tina, who we know, that's like we all did Zumba together. And I remember I always see Josh's brother Jay over on the right side of the room. He wears the signature bandana, tank top. He just finished lifting like all the heavy weights, and then he would go do Zumba right after for his cardio. And then Josh would follow suit. And I think, was it like after like a Monday night class where you guys just kind of like came up to me? Because when I started Zumba, I was on the left side of the room. So in Zumba, you have like territories. Merritt, you remember when you were at
I
West
was in the back corner.
We'll find it and then I'll post it in like a little reel that I make. But yeah, Merritt is the only person in my major, guy wise, that came and took my class. Everybody be like, yo, I'm gonna take your class, Kevin, take your class. Merritt's the one that put up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he showed up. So
Well, I
yeah,
had reasonings to go, but we
yes, he
won't
did
talk
have
about.
plenty of reasonings to go, but we won't go on that. We'll go on to that when we go out for beers or something.
Yeah, that's a not a on the podcast conversation.
Yeah. But that I remember, to go back, I remember, so Joss and Jay, they would always be on the right side of the room where like all the people that like would take Zoom all the time would be.
Yeah.
I would be on the left side of the room, like just so I can just see. I would always be by the window because the sun was there. I was getting extra tan, extra more sweat for me. And I think it was you, Joss, or your brother that came up to me and was like, "Yo, are you Geraldine's brother?" And I was like,
Probably
"Yeah,
me. Oh, Jay is he's shy.
yeah, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I am." And like, "Yo, shit, you know my cousins?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know your cousins, Joanne and Janice." And I was like, blast from the past, and then we all just kind of like hung out together, and then it just kind of went on from there.
Plus,
Oh,
when we see other Filipinos in one room, we're like, we like, hey.
You gotta all just jump on into it. I found one, Kevin. I know there's more.
yeah, Josh, I'm gonna text you this photo, and
Okay. I got
you'll
man.
see what it looks like. But go on from there, Josh. A lot of things we talk about. We talked about like whenever we sit down together. But if you can tell the people, I know you're a former athlete yourself in high school. What sports did you play, and what are some of your favorite teams? We know you're a Giants fan, very passionate Giants fan.
So Giants fan, anything New York. I'm a Giants fan. My basketball team is the Knicks. So obviously, I'm an all-time Knicks fan. Baseball's the Yankees. I hate the Mets. I'm sorry, guys. Whoever any Mets fans out there, I hate.
Uh-oh. I
Yeah, that's
froze.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
I hate the Mets. I don't know why.
It's okay. I hate the Yankees.
Oh, yeah, Boston. Yeah, but you know what's funny about the Boston and it's just like the Boston and Yankees rivalry. Speaking of baseball, it's not as good as back. You right in the early 2000s. Oh
No,
my
no, no, no.
God,
Like,
man.
I will still never want to watch a Yankees game. Ever. I don't like the Yankees ever. I will never will. But like the rivalry between the two teams now and what it was when we were kids watching like
It's
Alex
totally different ball
Rodriguez,
game.
Derek Jeter,
Yeah,
Veritex, Poppy, Nick, like all those guys. It's
yeah,
not the same.
Johnny
Like
Damon playing for both.
like
yeah.
was it 2 years ago the Red Sox knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs? I thought that was the greatest thing ever. Like Garrett Cole is basically become the Red Sox bitch. whenever he pitches against us, he can't throw a strike. But like, it's just not as much fun. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely agree to that.
Yeah, that's for sure. So my next thing that I have is Josh, we've gone through many different fitness journeys together. Merritt, he works out, so we talk about it all the time. So, what's like the timeline for us? Like, I have it as that we started Zumba, then we went into CrossFit, and then we go into what we're doing now. Is
Yeah.
that how I got it correct?
Yeah, because we did Zumba,
Mm-hmm.
then we did CrossFit, then that pandemic happened. We had no choice. Then
Mm-hmm.
after the pandemic, we just actually it was you that got into the Alpha Fit. You remember I still won't forget the day. It was Thursday at Crunch, where I saw you at the treadmill, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, what do you think about the Alpha Fit Club? And you took a couple of classes, right? I believe you told me there was like one in Red Bank, and I'm like, you're always forcing me, yo, let's just try one class because it's free. Then I finally tried one class with Jay, and all of a sudden, I was like, I got hooked, you know?
No, yeah. I mean, I remember that vividly. You were running on the treadmill. I was walking because I was just too fat and couldn't run the treadmill. And I remember that time when I was just letting you know, like, hey, I tried it out. It was a lot of fun. You know, there was a lot of people there. They're really, really nice. And then I think I just tried to kind of told you, like, hey, like, it's free. You can't beat a free workout. Worst thing that could happen is that you don't like it and you just don't ever
Yeah,
go back there again.
exactly.
But then yeah, and then now we're kind of in this like revolution, I will say, because we've gone through a lot. Let's take it back real quick. So when did you start doing CrossFit? Because I know, so I went, so the timeline is we did Zoom in 2010. I went off
Yeah,
to school,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
I
Yep.
think it started. Did you guys start in 2012 doing it? How did you guys get into that, to
It was
CrossFit?
20. Yeah, because Gino wanted to start a it was actually not CrossFit yet. It was more like a circuit class
Mm-hmm.
at to what's that place? What's right in Spring Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started a class was Cutting Edge Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Then what I think was like you usually show up sometimes too on your breaks, on your winter breaks too. I remember that when you showed up during a Zuma when Tina was doing the Zuma class, he showed up. I still got the video too.
Yo,
Remember when you surprised her?
that was an epic surprise because I did
Yeah,
the whole song and I'm just
yeah.
standing there like, oh, you didn't even care that I was there. I was like, all right, so never mind.
You never lifted. So one day we're like, yo, because remember the Bacon and Ray was there. It's like, yo, come and get into this, man. Just lift. Just try it out a little bit. Then after a while, slowly you're getting hooked to it. Then we became coaches.
Yeah. So, Merritt, so I have a pair of white West Virginia basketball shorts,
Okay.
and the first ever workout was dedicated to Jay and Joss's birthday.
Oh, perfect.
So basically the workout started, and I don't want to spoil your age, Josh, so I won't say the number, but it was tire
40.
flips, tire flips for this number.
Oh God, no.
So think about a white pair of shorts, and I'm picking up the tire with one leg. So one half of the leg is like now dark white, and the other pant is white because I was going ahead and pushing that tire. And then from there, then all of a sudden I started doing CrossFit, and then Josh and I, how long were you and I coaches?
Jeez. I think
Oh
like
wait,
6
hold
years.
on. Oh wait, before you answer that question,
I found him.
I have to send you the photos of my class. Let me see.
This was your last class, I think.
No.
No, the
Oh
first
yeah.
one was. No, the first one was your last class.
Yes, the first one.
This
This was
one
a
was,
random class.
yeah.
Wait, what's the picture you sent me, Kevin?
I just sent you one now.
So what's the first one you sent me?
So the first one was my last class.
So he's
Ah,
on my shoulders in that picture.
Yeah, if you zoom in, I'm on somebody's shoulders. That's Merritt. which I don't know how you got me on your shoulders, because if we tried that
Oh.
today, I don't know if you would
I
be
don't know if I could pick you up anyway. Like my legs are not as good as they used to be.
I could see why Merritt,
Yeah, the pictures though that I just sent over to Kevin, I'm like, oh my God. I like
that one.
so little. Like
Yeah.
we're
Is that
so
Merritt on
small.
the back?
What's up?
Is that Merritt in the back with no beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
Merritt
yeah.
in the back.
We're just like the
Beardless.
goatee. Like the little goatee.
Do you guys still still like keep in touch with these people or like?
I mean,
Um,
I keep in touch with the left side, most of
Yeah.
them, via Instagram and stuff like that. The whole right side, they probably follow me on like Facebook still, but like that's an old group. Like that's 2012, Prime, Kevin being a Zoom instructor. That's a that was a time
Wow.
to be alive.
yeah,
God.
Your class,
I only talked to Kevin.
What'd you say, Josh?
your class is like actually lit. Like every what day will you remember? Like, is this once a week?
Twice a week. So I
Oh,
originally was once a week, but I will remember this vividly.
yeah.
Um, I went to we were at a meeting for like the staff, and the
Mhm.
fitness director came up to me and goes, "You would not believe in the comment box how many people requested you to like teach another class." They're like, "Can you please teach another class?" And what I always think of is my spring semester. I taught the 7:45 class,
Uh-huh.
and before mine, downstairs at the downstairs studio was a 6:30 Zumba class with another girl. So basically, her class is like this girl was like a sorority girl, super nice, but sorority girl. She had all her sorority sisters there. Her classes were always packed, and then like my class was like started off like small, and like just to go by the months of how like the evolution started, where literally it went from super like small, and then like each class, like for example, started my class had 30, she had 70. Then like the next month she had 60, I had 40. Then the next
Oh,
month 50. And then all of a sudden you would literally watch people run out of her class to run up the stairs to my room to come to my class.
And he was like in the back corner
Mm-hmm.
of the gym upstairs where you're like, there's a room back here?
Yep.
And then at one point, I want to say there was over 100 people
Yeah.
in
Holy
there.
shit.
And you couldn't, like, if you stepped the wrong way, if you did not pay attention to what you were doing and
You're
you
going right here.
Wow.
stepped the wrong way, boom, you were taking 10 people out with you.
Has any like athletes took in your class, like sports like the student athletes?
Uh I know I've had like I remember like we had like some like athletes that are in a major, so some of them would like come in with their friends. I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
like any big name athletes from like our
Yeah.
time. I don't think they did. Super busy,
I don't
but
think they did either, but I do think like some of the girls that were in our sport management class that were like on the soccer team or tennis team and stuff, they came.
yeah, because like springtime is like the spring sports, they have their stuff. So maybe some of the fall people, I think maybe like
Yeah.
tuned in or stopped in. But yeah, that was definitely a time to be alive. Shout out to Merritt for remembering and bringing out up those photos as a flashback. Because my God, that was crazy.
Imagine you did a little Zuma reunion back to back in your college.
Oh man,
Uh,
I don't
I'm I'm
I don't
good.
even know if I can move that way anymore, Josh. Like my hips don't lie like they used to. They tell the truth. But
No, no, like
I'm just gonna leave it
yeah.
as this. I don't need to do that. Kevin knows exactly what I mean by that comment. We
yeah,
don't need to do that.
yes. My goodness. But yeah. So Josh, we've gone through the trials. We had a
Yeah.
teach, we taught together for when we were doing CrossFit. Now we're back together in Alpha. And then but we got to talk about your food truck, man. Like, can you let the people know how you started your food truck?
Oh yeah, so it started 4 years ago. So I've been working in the restaurant business for so long. So my last job, I was just in a rut. I was like, I gotta do something, man. I gotta start building my own dream than building this guy's dream, another person's dream. So um, my cousin Jeffrey, who's my partner, he was working in the financial, this field, so he knows about the numbers.
Mhm.
And he just quit his job because, unfortunately, he lost his brother. So he took a trip with his mom and his parents to the Philippines for, I think, for a couple of months, like maybe 6 months, just to, just relax. So he just called me saying, "Yo, Joss, want to open a food truck?" I'm like, I guess, because my dream is always to open a restaurant. That's my dream, but I don't have the funds right now, back then. So a lot of people, what they do is that's like a little starter pack, build some money, then they eventually open a restaurant. So I was like, let's go. So, you know, that first before that official start of the food truck, it was just so stressful because, the permits and all that BS, you got to deal with all all the paperwork. And finally, we opened up at September of 2019.
Mm.
Straight Roxbury. It was like a beer garden, like a beer fest, like 3,000 people. We just went straight forward to it instead of doing like a soap opening. Me and my cousin like, let's just go head on. And from there on, we just you know, we just want to thank our like all our supporters, especially you, Kevin. You're always coming to our truck, and
So
hopefully in the future, more things. 4 years. That's as for our business, 4 years. That's a miracle that we're still standing because business, like especially food business, after a year they close down because it's a hard business, man, to make money.
so
It's very risky too.
Josh, what kind of food do you make?
Filipino food.
Ooh. All right, Kevin,
So
next time
people,
I come out and see you, we need to go to this food truck because I want some food.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely whenever you come out, if we'll bring the producer out here, you'll go visit Cyrus and we gotta hit up Joss's food truck. That's definitely a thing to do.
well,
Sounds
like a live
perfect.
podcast.
Yeah, we can do a live podcast. We've
Yeah,
been
right at the
thinking
truck.
about doing that
What?
too. So Josh, you can join us on that.
Should I bring my mic and everything too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can use the little mini mics that Josh and I have now, and we can use those.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have
Ooh.
to thank you for reminding me, Josh. I have to charge that.
I'm gonna plug in my I'm gonna plug the Instagram too, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. It's at 12_truck on Instagram, but it's the word 12. So
Yeah,
check us out. Follow.
absolutely. So, Merritt, make sure you follow that food truck, sir. I think he's about to follow it right now.
Got it.
Verification.
Boom.
Let's go.
Yes.
Got it.
There it is. So I would say, Josh, what's like the most satisfying thing about running a food truck for you?
For me is the smiles I put on people's face. Like, with our dishes, especially when the reviews, they come back, oh my God, your food's so good. It's just a smile that put in people's face. Um, because you work hard for it, that's like you work hard for it. And my biggest fear is the food not good? Is it good or not good? Bad reviews. But like I said, you can't please everybody.
Dude, this food looks amazing.
Yeah. So Josh, whenever Merritt takes the trip down from Long Island to come visit me and your truck is open, what should Merritt have for his first meal at 12 Truck?
Since he never had Filipino, has he ever have you ever Filipino food, Merrick?
I've had it before, yeah.
Um, the combo.
The main combo. What's the main combo? If you could tell
So
the
the combo
listener.
is um, it's a lot of food, but it's you get 4 pieces of lumpia, which is like the egg rolls, pork egg rolls, a scoop of rice because Filipinos, we can't live without rice.
Yeah.
That's like rice is life. Um, you get pancit, which is like a chicken stir fried veggie noodles, and a choice of a skewer, pork or chicken.
I'm like salivating. at this moment.
All the food. Oh yeah, the banana pudding, the uge banana pudding. So uge is like a purple yam, so we make it out of like a banana pudding. That's one of our top sellers as our desserts. Like literally, people buy in bulk. I remember one customer came in. Um, our main location is the hospital, Raritan Bay Medical Center in Old Bridge.
Mhm.
Comes in, comes to me. Yeah, can I make? I just need 20 orders of banana pudding, and I had a line. And I'm like, you gotta give me a half hour because it takes a while.
My
But
God,
people actually, man, it's like Costco, man, when it comes to the banana pudding.
Wow,
it's amazing.
that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely next time I'm in Jersey, I will
Oh yeah, I forgot you live in Long Island.
yeah, so I'm about 3 hours, right, Kevin?
No,
Hour and a half.
it's definitely more
Two-
hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half,
Oh,
two-ish
that's not
hours. 3 hours if there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, but you could definitely get here knowing you're driving. Definitely hour and 40.
No, am I driving? What? Excuse me?
You're a very good
Even-
driver.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got us to Boston in 4.5 hours. That was
That was very impressive.
actually 4. I think we did it 4.
Yeah, he cut our Boston trip to
Yo,
from 2
speaking of
hours.
Boston, that's like one of the like super nice. Like I love that city because my cousin used to live in Boston, and we used to visit them, and it's just like, oh man, I love that city, man. It's so clean. It's just like,
It is.
It ain't New
man, I love it.
York.
It ain't
That's
New York.
it ain't New York.
That's
That's true. Mayor, did you
That's
have any questions you wanted to add? I had like those little
No, like
questions.
honestly, I'm excited now just to come down to Jersey get some food. Like that's like that's where I'm at, bro.
There you go.
I got a
Actually,
question.
we should. I have to ask you this one, Joss.
Yeah.
I guess we got to let everybody know, like, how did we come up with the
The name?
Filipino Starbucksters, aka the Filabucksters?
Well, I remember we were just chilling right in Starbucks, and we're like, I don't know, it was you or me. I think it was you. You're saying we should start a podcast. We're talking about the manly music,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, yo, we should start. You're like, you should start a little not podcast. Like what's it called? Reels? Is this considered a podcast or filibusters?
Our Filabucksters, yeah, I put them as like reels.
Reels, yeah. And we're like, screw, let's do it. So, we didn't have a name yet, or did we?
We definitely didn't have a name.
Yeah. Then I think you did a suggestion questions at Instagram. And Stephanie, shout out to our Stephanie, or my neighbor, or one of our good friends. She's the one who came up with the name Filibucksters.
Yeah. So she wrote in the comment, Filibucksters, like filibuster. And then I remember
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Filibuckster, you're Filipino Starbucksters.
Yeah.
Oh. And then that's when the light came on. And I remember, so I did it because I remember you said you were nervous to come on our podcast. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, let me do the Filibusters because I figured if you just get comfortable in front of the camera, which we've been doing, it'll be like so much easier. Now you're like a natural on here. Like that you were all nervous about you were gonna be stuttering. You're freaking like perfectly fine. Mary, did you notice anything with Josh? Like I thought he's a natural.
Better than you and I.
Yeah.
No, because first 2 years of the food truck, I've been doing a lot of interviews with like, newspapers, NJ.com, and you used to have to take like 5 takes because I stutter like I get nervous, man.
Well, you are perfectly fine
You're
now. You
good.
don't have nothing to worry about. You are
There's
rocking
no
out on the
audience.
pod today.
Imagine doing this on a live like audience, like freaking like soon, hopefully sooner or later you guys will, be that big like Barstool man or something.
I mean, I just want to be top 10 on West Virginia's
Everyone starts everybody
election
starts
podcast.
anywhere. Yeah, man.
One day.
We'll get there eventually.
So that's how we started the Filibusters, and we coming up with just random questions on the fly. And then I started the reels, and then it's kind of been a hit. Like we have
Yeah.
a lot of people. Mary, it's funny when me and Josh go to our gym, we have people that come up to us and go, "So what's the question gonna be today?" For like,
Oh my god.
they're always ask us about like,
Or they want to join us.
or they want to join us. We have people that want to sit in as guests.
I
So,
like it.
Because you get a free coffee.
yeah, I was like, yo, I'll get you a coffee if you come with us.
That's true, right? They get
So
a free coffee.
yeah, so they're rocking out, and shout out to our local Bucks that we go by. They're super
Yeah.
cool. I don't think they honestly know what we're doing, but they just like talk to us like we're like family there, which I think is great. Which you don't get
One
that.
day, we have to get them in our reel, man. If they're comfortable with that
Well, I
same time.
also I don't want to get any of them in trouble, so that's why
Right.
we'll do our
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
We'll
right.
do
You're
our
right.
thing and like let them
Oh,
do their work. But Joss, I left the room for you. Whatever questions you had for us.
oh yeah. So I think I asked you this morning, like, how do you guys meet? Like literally, how do you guys meet?
Was it doc
Do you
class?
remember? I'll be honest. I was trying to when he asked me that earlier. I was trying to figure out when did we actually first meet.
It had, oh God. It must have been, it had to have been my first year at West Virginia because the second year we were in classes together. Um,
Had to be right. It had to be when at least in one of the sport management classes.
yeah, I don't know which one.
Oh, so you guys were in the same major.
Yeah. We were in the same major. So we took, I think, our final year together because he graduated the year before I did because of me
Okay.
transferring to West Virginia. Um,
Oh,
we were in every sport management class together besides like two.
Yeah.
And that was only because of my schedule with basketball. I couldn't take those classes at that time. I'd take them later. And we sat next to each other with our two other buddies, Eric and Leland, in every single class.
We and forever live in infamy the sport management trip to Queens, New
Indy.
York at St.
Oh,
John's.
oh God.
Yep. Forever will live in infamy.
I have to find, I can't believe I don't have that picture anymore. I don't know where it
You
went.
just have to save it whenever it comes on Time Hop again.
Yeah, but it's ooh,
Yeah.
coming up soon.
story. That story about.
No, it's gonna come up in May, April, May.
Yeah, soon.
Oh shoot, that is soon. Damn.
Ah,
Oh no.
Wait,
I
wait,
yes.
wait.
nightmares looking at that photo.
Wait, what happened?
Yo,
All right.
we'll talk about it off air.
I'll just put it this
Wait.
way. I walked into our hotel room. I thought there was a jet engine. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wait, so you said, wait, Mary, you said you transferred to West Virginia from where, if you don't mind me asking?
So I went to the University of New Hampshire for 2 years. Where
Oh,
I'm from.
our
I'm
buddy.
from New Hampshire, and I transferred down to West Virginia.
Yeah, more my best friend went to New Hampshire University.
Nice.
Or yeah. Another great town, another great state. I mean, New Hampshire.
I know. I love it.
So for some reason, everybody's so nice in New England area, man.
Wow. Where the fuck have you been, Josh? Because no one's nice in New England.
Because we go to Vermont every year for snowboarding, and everybody there is so nice, man. Hey, how
Okay.
you doing?
Okay. Hold on. Time out.
Is Vermont considered New England area?
Yes, it is, but they're
Okay.
stoners, so they're just happy all the time. They're just chill as fuck. Like you go to Maine, they're just I don't even know what Maine is. Maine is hicks. They're crazy. Connecticut, we don't count because half of them think they're New Yorkers, half of
Yeah.
them think they're from New England. We don't care about any of them. We just kick them all out. Rhode Island is this big, and
Uh-huh.
we forget about it. So New Hampshire and Massachusetts are like the two states everyone cares about. And none of us are nice.
It's all good. Still rocking out. Josh, anything else you got for us? Yeah, this is your time.
Uh, I had a question. So this podcast, who came up with it, and who came up with the name as well?
Name was Kevin.
Yes.
Okay.
I came up with the name. The origin of the name is so when we used to go to men's basketball games, you would get handed a piece of paper from the student union. The student union's called the Mountaineer Maniacs, and they would
Oh,
hand you a paper that said the Mountaineer Musings. So basically, it would just
oh,
tell you like random facts about the other team. So like the one I always remember is like number 3 on this team, his grandmother is name is Ethel. So whenever you see him shoot a 3, just yell Ethel. Some like
oh,
random BS. And I
yeah.
remember so I tried to tie the name to like myself and Merritt were both former Mountaineers. we wanted to make it like West Virginia related. So I thought about manly musings, and we talk about sports, life, and everything in between. So that was kind of like my tagline to Merritt. I remember texting it to him and be like, "What do you think about this?" And manly musings, rings at the tip of the tongue.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were any other names on the table. I don't know if
I
Merritt, you ever had any names or
I don't think we did, to be completely honest with you. We came up with a concept. I had asked, I think it was just around like that COVID time, everyone started doing this stuff. Started kind of thinking the idea myself. Um, I pitched it to one buddy and kind of just never came through with it. And then all of a sudden, Kevin and I, we'd always texted a little bit more after college and stayed in touch. And we were on a class with our old professor. And it was one of his last classes, and he was bringing on former students to talk to his current students about our career paths, how we got to where we did, like all that stuff, right? And I texted Kevin afterwards, I was like, hey, have you ever thought about doing a podcast? Because I would love to do one. I'm thinking probably in the next couple of months, starting one up. And it was the pitch to the idea of like, let's talk sports, let's talk sneakers. We both love this kind of stuff. And it's kind of evolved from just talking sports and sneakers to we bring our friends on and let them talk about everything. Like, we don't care. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of turned into pretty much like we want to celebrate our friends. We'll give you some sports. We're gonna give you West Virginia because that's part of the thing we love. And honestly, I think it's part of our week. It's part of like our
Yeah.
day thing. Like except with the exception of this year, which we're trying to be smarter so we get the content out to everyone. We've been recorded. We Merritt, I think we recorded for 2 years straight
We
together.
only had for the first 2 years, we only missed recording twice because I was traveling for work. The person that was going to join us, she was traveling, and then there was one other time I think I might have been sick or something, and we just said, you know what, we'll postpone. Yeah, but this is the first year where we basically took almost like it felt like a month off. We took 2-3 weeks off into the new year.
Yeah, because we had our We Out Here concepts that has been put out by our producer that to find out from the Backyard Brawl to Brooklyn, and it's been a fun time. We're literally have slowly created this manly musings universe.
And it's a sort of like these podcasts. It's sort of a way to get out from the real world. It's like almost like our own world. Exactly. Am I right? Like I feel comfortable now. It's like it's just chill. It's almost like a hangout.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we picture it to
You
like pitch
hang
it
out
to
with your
people.
friends. Yeah.
We're like, we ain't gonna. We'll ask questions, but it's literally just open. Talk about what you want.
Yeah.
Unless it's really bad stuff, then we're gonna tell you no.
Yeah. Or we'll bleep you out like we've had to do once or
It's
twice.
so funny though.
Yeah.
It's
So,
so funny.
but yeah. So, Josh, if you don't have anything else,
Wait,
we'll
one more question.
go ahead.
During your stay when you guys were still in college,
Mhm.
Merritt, I know you guys West Virginia people. We know, like everyone knows that you guys drink a lot. Like the parties is crazy. Because one of my good friends, Rachel, she
Oh
went to West
God.
Virginia. Oh, have you ever carried Kevin drunk to his dorm or his apartment? Like,
uh,
I
so
never did that at school. But that's why I'm gonna have to say I can't elaborate more on the story
uh,
because it involves New York.
yes, which we'll
okay,
talk
yeah.
about when we're off
Oh,
air or when we're
all right.
together. But
Oh God.
yes, that's a great question, and I think that's where we'll probably end. We'll probably end it right on
I,
that note.
I
I
Dude,
love
say
it.
end it.
Yeah. So
dude.
let me go ahead real quick. Josh, shout out to you. Thank you for being on the pod.
Oh yeah,
If you
this
want to
is fun,
shout
man.
out your Instagrams, and we'll put it up.
Hell yeah.
So we got your Instagram. Is it what's your? You want to just share your trucks or yours also?
I'll share my truck. It's at 12_truck, but the word 12.
Yes. Make sure you follow the food truck. If you're in New Jersey, make sure you follow the story because that's where they will post everything.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys. And if you're in Jersey or if you're in the tri-state area, you better make sure you try the 12 truck because it's probably one of the best Filipino food trucks out here. And yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast. We took a small little break from just sports. I wanted to make sure we brought on Josh because you guys, if you follow the Instagram, you've been seeing him and his brother Jay doing the Filabucksters with me, the Filipino Starbucksters. We've been having a great time. We're on 35 episodes in. So those that have watched, thank you for tuning in. Uh, but the details, the outro time. If you want to continue listening to us, I hope you do. Listen to us on all streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Play, Google Play. If you want to watch this, if you're continue to watch us, we're on YouTube at the Manly Musings Podcast. Follow the Instagram at the Manly Musings Pod. Follow Merritt's Instagram at Merritt_P. Follow my Instagram at KQuava624. Follow the podcast TikTok at the Manly Musings Pod. And before I end it, we got to do one last thing. Question of the day from per Filipino Starbucksters. Merritt, if you were to be made into an action figure, what would your
Mm.
two accessories be that come with it?
Let's go.
Well, I have to have an insulin pump. I need that.
Okay.
Um.
That's already a part of me, so that does you don't have to
Okay.
count.
All right. Well, that doesn't count. Shit. That's tough.
Put you on the spot, right?
Yeah, like I want to say something stupid and ridiculous, but I also want to like not be that crazy. Um,
You do you.
you know what? I would take a jetpack
Okay.
Nice.
and Excalibur.
Yeah.
Like Excalibur.
Yeah.
That was Kevin. You remember my first choice was a jetpack. You remember?
Yeah. Josh's first thing was a jetpack. Oh my gosh. But yes, way to end that. Then we'll end it right here. See you guys soon. Peace, y'all.